in yourself. Hey, hello everybody. I hope it's a happy Monday for y'all. I hope it's a happy Monday for y'all. It's a good Monday for me. Like kind of busy Monday, but like it's okay. Mondays are, I guess, supposed to be busy. But I really would like to get on live and talk to y'all about one topic is how you are limiting yourself in your career in tech. How you are limiting yourself in your career in tech, because over the years in my career in tech, I've seen many people with amazing potential, with amazing earning potential, with amazing skill set, limiting their career in tech. So this is what we're going to talk about. I think I've been thinking about like how you keep yourself successful in tech, right? How you keep going and how you keep staying relevant in tech. And I think because the tech is changing all the time, and it is really important to keep developing your skill set and keep bettering yourself and keep bettering your knowledge and learning more. Because no matter what you do, either you're like QA or iOS developer or web developer, there are new technologies, there are new techniques, there are new ways to do the same thing over and over again. Like they're always changing, and there are always new ways to uh, do things. So how are you limiting yourself in your tech career? First way that you limit yourself in tech is by not looking for a new job, staying at the same job for way too long, for way too long. So what I mean by that is, um, when you let's say something I see and have seen in the industry, a person gets their first tech job, like either after graduating from a boot camp, or graduating after college, or graduating after like whatever program. They got their first job and they stay at the job forever. So I know a person who stayed at the same job in tech, her first job in tech for 12 years. I mean, it's very honorable. Like, it is loyalty to your company. But like, see, like, a tech industry is not that kind of industry where you have that much loyalty um, with your employers, especially like when you are learning, and like really in any career, you are loyal only to yourself and to your professional growth. Let me say it again. You are only loyal to yourself and your professional growth. You are not loyal to anyone else, and you are not loyal to anybody else, because when the company needs to do a cut, they will do the cut. They won't think, oh, like, but that person was loyal to us for so many years. I mean, it was like, it might be afterthought, but like, company needs to do whatever they need to do, and you need to do whatever you need to do in your career. So staying at the same job for way too long, especially if you're early in your career, it is definitely you're limiting your career, and you're limiting your earning potential. More importantly, you're limiting your earning potential so much. So another way to that you're limiting your career in tech possibly is by sticking with the same technology. Sticking with the same technology, you learn one technology, you learn one way of doing things, and you are not learning anything else, and you will stay in this technology forever. And I understand that each specialty and each technology might be different. It might be like totally fine for your technology, but like overall, for tech industry, technology is always changing. So you do need to go outside of your comfort zone. You do need to learn new technologies, and you do need to learn what is latest and greatest in your industry that is out there. Because, for example, for iOS, we have Swift UI, and if you are not if you're not up to speed with Swift UI right now, and you're an iOS developer, at some point you might be in trouble. At some point you might be in trouble. I'm not saying that you have to be like expert in Swift UI, because Swift UI is still, it's gaining popularity. It's not like everything, and like if you don't know Swift UI, you still might be okay, but like as it becomes more and more popular, you might find yourself in a very interesting position where it's kind of hard to find a relevant job if you don't know the latest and greatest technology. The same thing, like Swift, as a programming language, Swift is evolving and getting better and better, and now we have Swift concurrency. And if you only know old ways to deal with concurrency, and if you don't know new robust, more and developer friendly way, more faster way to deal with concurrency, like it really make your job way more difficult than it should have been. So sticking with one technology, sticking with one thing, and not changing and not growing and not learning anything new, like this is like I think it's a limitation. I think it's a limitation on itself, because like I said, technology is changing all the time, and like you need to grow, and you need to learn new technology. And another way that you might limit your that you might limit your career is by staying in the same industry. And what I mean by that, so like, yes, we all work in tech industry, right? We all work in tech industry. Either you are a QA engineer or an iOS developer, what have you, web developer, will work in the tech industry. But in the tech is serving other industries. Like either it's like retail, healthcare, what have you, e-commerce. So there are different industries that tech industry is serving to. And I think if you stick with just one industry, that you start like that you are sticking with just one industry, and you're not learning anything else, and you are not doing anything else, then it also might be limiting, because each industry is very unique. Like healthcare is very different from e-commerce. E-commerce is very different from healthcare. Other education is very different from healthcare and e-commerce. So like you're gonna learn new techniques, you're gonna learn new knowledge, you're gonna learn more like new development strategies and more develop and business strategies, and you're gonna learn from each. So per my experience, I work in e-commerce and I work in healthcare. And my favorite industry is a healthcare, like by far, because I enjoy working with medical stuff. I enjoy working with applications either that dedicated to like medicine, or like dedicated to like medical professionals, like nurses and doctors, what have you. But also I learned so much from other industries. For example, e-commerce. I learned a lot about e-commerce. I learned about a lot from the loyalty websites, loyalty programs, loyalty databases. Because at some point I was working for loyalty databases, and just because I have the experience working in different industries, my career and my knowledge is so much more, versus if I stay in one industry and I didn't change and I didn't do anything else. I would just stick with one industry and I wouldn't do anything else. So sticking with the same industry for a long time. And you know, people might build the whole career, like careers, out of staying in the same industry. You can really be proficient in like healthcare industry as a web developer or iOS developer, and know that like that career really well, and A lot of healthcare like startups and companies might benefit from your knowledge, and like this is great. And in fact, when you're looking for a new position, I mean, if you if you have that experience or deep experience in one industry, it can benefit you. Also, like learn, do your market research. Which industry is more profitable for software developers? So, which industry pays more money? E-commerce, healthcare, and like, of course, what you enjoy more. For me, it's a healthcare. Like, I really enjoy healthcare, but I comes from my background too, because if you didn't know, like I have master's degree in clinical psychology. I used to be a therapist. I used to be a counselor. So I used to work in healthcare as a provider, and I was helping people and I was working with people directly, and I kind of miss that. And as an iOS developer, um, I I really feel that connection when I'm working with mobile apps or with applications like related to healthcare. So like that's kind of like that's kind of this is why this is my favorite specialty. Another limitation to your career and how you might be limiting your career in tech is not switching your specialty. And what I mean by that, not all specialties are created equal. There are specialties that have more earning potential. There are specialties there are specialties that have more perspectives in terms of your career, right? For example, my case, I used to be a senior SDET. I used to be a senior test automation engineer, right? And I was making really good money and I was really comfortable where I was, but I decided to grow in, like, for me, it was like, yes, it was a specialty change, but it was also personal growth. And why is that? Because as I was more and more comfortable with iOS development, I discovered so many opportunities for me, y'all. So many opportunities that I have never seen before, and so many challenging tasks that I never worked on before. Because it's the whole different level. It's the whole different level of thinking. It's the whole different way of thinking. Because I when I was doing like test automation, I had to do like one I had to solve one problems, but as I was solving problems for, I don't know, like for big corporations like T-Mobile, how to integrate like a library into a mobile application that are like a representative would use and connect with other applications in a safe and logical way, and it's a totally different game. It's a totally different game, and it requires totally different skill set. And it made me uncomfortable. It did make me uncomfortable because I never had to work on that scale. Because before I worry about if my test is flaky or not. That's the only problem that I had. Like, oh, my test is kind of flaky, like it's acting up again. So I had to like I didn't have to face such deep and large problems. Or like for example, working at my next company, Nordstrom, and Nordstrom is a humongous organization, and I really enjoy that. And not only was challenging for me to work with a large code base, and I have to learn how to navigate really large code base. I had to learn how to navigate those systems, and I had to learn how to read the code. Because listen, if you think that you're good at coding, if you think that you really can read code well, try to join a big organization with a very complex code base and try to read their code and try to find your way in that code base. And it's an amazing exercise for you as a developer, because after that you got it. After that, when you transition to a smaller code base, like it's just like, okay, where's that thing? And like you find it really, really quickly, because it was like really, it was a great training. So um changing your specialty is definitely a growth, and a lot of developers, or not a lot of developers, some other iOS developers, they would, after they reach certain like level of comfort working with iOS, they try to expand to other systems like Android development or Flutter or React Native, right? And I think this is great. And it's not to say that iOS developers are like going instinct, or they don't have good earning potential as iOS developers. It's just like they're expanding their specialties, right? So like when you have specialties in mobile development and you are able to do both like iOS and Android, even though like one will be always your main specialty, right? For me, as of right now, it is iOS development. It's my love, it's my everything, but I'm open to Flutter, I'm open to React Native. And yes, I when I pick it up, or like Android, when I pick it up, I will get good at it because I have experience learning and learning well and learning new skill, right? So I will become well on it. I will become good at it rather. But my first specialty will be always iOS because I like it so much. So changing specialty and it's really cool, and it's really give you a lot of growth. So, y'all, if you have any questions or thoughts, please let me know in the chat. So, I see chats and I see messages on my Instagram and on. I'm streaming all over the place. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, in the group or not in the group, or on my personal profile, if you have anything to say, any thoughts, please let me know because I'm here for y'all. I'm here for y'all. I'm here to talk to you, and not just um, give an online lecture how not to limit yourself in tech. So it's pretty much like live interaction. So changing your specialty is important, and it can be really beneficial. And before I end my live stream, before I go, I would like to let you know that I do have a program. If you would like to change your specialty to iOS development, so you have the option. I have that program. It's one-on-one program. It's a 6 months program, working with me one-on-one, working on real applications from real businesses, working on advanced topics. And at the end of that program, you will get interview preparation, and more importantly, you will get references, because that was like when I was transitioning to iOS development, that was one of my challenges. Like, okay, like I know that I can do iOS development, and I know that I'm good at it, and I have previous like work experience, but how do I actually prove to other employers that I have the experience? So I had to go and find me small businesses and ask them, like literally go and send them messages. Hey, like do you need an iOS app? I can help you. And uh, I was really smart about it too. Like I would look at their website and I would look at their program. For and whatever and I saw a problem. For example, they didn't have a mobile site, or they didn't have a mobile program. Like, hey, like I really see that you don't have a mobile that you don't have a mobile program, so I can actually help you out with that. And for that, you don't really need to do much. You just need to work with me. I will deliver you a mobile app, or I will create a mobile program for you. And for that, I just need your references that I work for y'all, and that's all I need. Because even though like on I had the knowledge to be a really good iOS developer, but because of my previous like titles, necessarily my previous titles, they were in tech, they were relevant, and I had a lot of relevant work experience, but they were iOS developers, right? So because of that, I had to go extra mile and I had to do it myself. So because of my experience with that, I created a program where I did it for y'all. I did it for y'all. I basically connected with two small businesses and I say, hey, like this is what I had to do in the past, like to get my references to put myself out there. So how about my students like will help your businesses to do like whatever, to build a mobile app for you, or to deliver, to develop and deliver certain features that you like, and you will provide them references. And of course, like I'm a senior iOS developer, and I will keep close eye on the features, and of course if there are mistakes or bugs, I will obviously fix it myself. But like and those people need a little bit of help. Those people need those like references, like to get to the next level. Because look, changing specialty is tricky. It might be tricky and it might be hard, and especially when you have really good reputation in one specialty. Like I had really good reputation in test automation. I'm still getting a ton of emails about test automation jobs, and I'm a senior iOS developer. So, and it can be really hard to overcome. But one of the ways to overcome it, and it's not just about like iOS development, like just transitioning from QA to iOS development. It's like and it is like that in general. Like if you don't have um, that many projects related to your new specialty, it might be challenging for you to change specialty. If you don't have that many references or many exposure to the project, it might be really challenging to like go with the new specialty. So like that's kind of part of like the um transitioning. So that's why I decided to make it easier for you, and like I partner with two businesses. So you like at least that part you get covered. And of course, like interview preparation, and like one thing like that is important to be consistent, right? Like yeah, you can purchase a program, you can enroll in program. It's like you get two one-on-ones with me per week, and you will be working on real projects. But it's important for you to be consistent. If you're not consistent, if you're not putting the work in, if you're not if you're not consistent, if you're not putting the work in, it's really hard for me to get you to the successful place. It's really yeah, you might get the references and you might get the right companies on your resume, but like if you're not consistent, if you're not committed to the work, like then your potential employer will see it like anywhere. Like yeah, you got references, you got a resume, you get everything to get in front of the employer, but you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the skills to like move forward. This is why this 6 months, like it's not like, and it's a lot of commitment, and it's a big commitment, and it's a big dedication. So like I would say expect anywhere from like from 4 to 8 hours of work. Like in like I like when I was learning iOS development, I would spend about 4 hours per day learning iOS development. And I know not everybody has that commitment, but like you should have at least as a minimum 3 hours per week when you're like actually coding and developing, because this is like coding is a very practical application. Coding is a very practical skill. So you do need those like 3 4 hours per day to code and and develop your skill set. That's why. So like, do you have any questions? So it's not getting too late, but I don't want to keep y'all for too long. So if you have questions, if you have thoughts, please let me know, because I'm here to chat with y'all. So I'm more than happy to share my wisdom and knowledge and my perspective, but I also want to see and hear what you think about my topics and what you think about the industry. And if you have like any questions, it's like live stream is a perfect question to ask me a question, because No matter what it is, I will stop my uh, lecture. I will start my topic and I will answer your question, no matter what it is. So I will wait for a few seconds for the questions to come in if there are any questions or like anything like that. Other than that, I'm pretty much done with the live stream. And I really appreciate all of you for being here on Monday evening. So, I really hope to see you in my next video. So I release a bunch of, schedule a bunch of shorts and reels this week. So keep an eye on my reels, keep an eye on my shorts. So and I will be sharing them in my stories as well. So if you're on Instagram, you will be seeing my reels and stories. If you're on YouTube, I have like a few videos coming up as well this week. So I have a lot of content today, and I decided to go live today just to talk about the topic and see how y'all doing. So with that being said, I appreciate all of you for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.